So a lot of what I wanted to say, what I've walked away from, has already been said. The fact that, oh, I can approach people now, and oh, this works. People will actually engage in conversation with you, give you their number, go on dates with you. That's pretty cool. But I think underlying it...
And they have sex with you sometimes, right?
Sometimes.
Do you want to mention the fact you had sex in the workshop?
Sometimes it works.
Hang on, so what you're trying to say is you had sex?
Yes, I did.
Okay, interesting. I didn't get that bit. And how many people did you have sex with, for example?
2.
2. That's more than I have had sex with in the last 4 days. Good.
Yes.
Right, so just to be clear, you had sex with 2 people?
With 2 people,
right.
Correct.
You got that?
This is going live, yes.
And they were both women?
Yes, both
women.
Both
of them were women?
And I didn't pay either of them.
You didn't pay anybody?
No.
Hang on a minute. So okay, I'll talk about that.
Hi. You look very cute.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Where are you off to on this sunny Sunday?
At home.
Going home?
At home.
Just to relax? Are you off work?
Relax.
And what do you like to do to relax?
Be with family, I think.
I find that's very comforting. My family is too far away for me to spend too much time with them right now.
Where are you from?
Originally, I'm from Hawaii.
Hawaii?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
But let's stand in the shade a little bit better. But I'm here.
Oh my God.
I live in New York City now.
Oh my God.
So I'm just traveling around this summer, visiting different cities.
Oh no? No, only traveling.
I love Budapest.
Oh, I love to.
I came here once last year and I was struck by the city, the energy, the vibrancy,
Yes,
the people.
I love to. Yes. I live here 1.5 hours, but I love.
1.5 hours?
Yes. I'm not from here. I'm from Ukraine.
I see. I'm actually Ukrainian as well, but don't ask me things in Ukrainian because I don't speak.
Yes.
Did you come, so your family is here or are they in Ukraine?
My
Your
mother.
And so you are not here for Formula One?
What?
You are not here for Formula One?
No. I go after work today, work half day, not all day.
I see.
That's why.
Perks of being a Sunday, nice and relaxed.
Yes.
Easy to spend time with people you care about.
Yes.
Maybe go to the spa or something too.
What?
Go to the spa?
I don't know.
The baths, enjoy some water.
In bath I was yesterday with my mother.
Last night?
No, day. One day ago.
Okay.
One day ago we visited.
You go.
That's right. I don't know what plans, but I see.
No, it's okay. You have this relaxed, chill vibe. Like I said, you look pretty cute.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm very happy to meet you.
I'm happy to meet you too. Before you go, I will be in Budapest a few more days. Maybe I can take you out for coffee sometime.
We can do some
Yeah.
Instagram or something, I don't know.
I think that would be good. Why don't you add yourself here
Instagram.
and I can text you?
Instagram, 1 second, I remember.
By the way, I don't think I introduced myself. My name is Zeb.
Zeb?
Yes.
Zeb?
Zeb, yes.
First listen this name, Zeb.
Zeb.
Nice to meet you, my more easy name.
Slightly.
More traditional.
Pretty though.
I mean for loud traditional, because I never listen your name, never. Your first. It's my page.
Beautiful.
It's my page. Okay, very happy to see you.
So nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a nice day in Budapest vacation.
Yes.
How many days you're here?
I have not decided yet, actually. So next I will go to Belgrade. I have a friend in Belgrade. So I told him I would visit this week, but I don't know when I will leave. I don't have my bus ticket booked yet. So before I go, we will go for coffee sometime.
With pleasure.
Maybe after you're done with your mom tonight or tomorrow or some other time.
We can.
Okay. I will text you and we'll find out.
Okay. Have a nice day.
Bye. Nice to meet you.
Bye.
Cool. All right. Good. She was banging hot and friendly and awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Isn't it good when it works?
Yes. Feels good.
And like, possibly in other parts of your previous lives, you would have assumed that a girl that beautiful wouldn't be that friendly and wouldn't be that open. Yeah, you don't know until you go and find out. I mean, overall, like the conversation was just good. When you said you were Ukrainian, you got to follow that up because she was like, "Sure, you are." Like, if I say that, I've got a Ukrainian grandfather, blah blah blah. If you're meeting someone where you've got a direct connection to their country, then explain it because she didn't really understand what you meant.
You're right.
Doesn't matter. Maybe this has happened. This is not a big. There's no big problem in this interaction. But what I'm hearing is, and maybe you're specifically doing it for non-English speakers, but your enunciation is coming out quite formal. Like you're like enunciating every single word and speaking like you're doing a speech. Are you aware of that?
Loosely, yes. I think I do this as a habit with non-native speakers.
Okay. So would you say your cadence is different are you different when you talk to me? Maybe. Yeah, it's got to loosen up a little bit, right? Like now she doesn't notice, like it's because her English isn't that good, but especially in America, women are going to perceive that as though you are a very formal person, if that's the way you deliver things, right? Yeah, especially in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's fucking with language, being a bit looser with it, being a bit more casual with your delivery, makes you cool. Yeah.
Like to be cool.
Yeah, I'd like to be cool one day too. So let's try. But yeah, that's something to work on longer term, and it also comes in when you're feeling like when you get into the habit of being more comfortable in these interactions and understanding that it's play, right? Like that's ideally this is an improv where we're playing together,
right?
And so we don't need to follow up on every single detail. We don't need to enunciate every word. We don't need to use complicated words, right? It's going to be something that takes some time, but just keep that in the back of your mind to be looser, casual delivery. But overall, excellent. It worked. Follow that up. She's hot and awesome. Hello, gents. There's just one spot left on my upcoming infield workshop in Budapest, Hungary from the 27th until the 30th of April with myself, Shay Matthews and Alex Leon leading a small group of gents around the streets of Budapest learning the fine art and science of natural style seduction. So if you've been following Zeb's transformation and you too would like to go from a guy who doesn't know how to do this to extremely capable and able to roll up to hotties on the streets and get dates, then you should click the link in the description, get on a call with Alex very soon because we just have one spot left. Hopefully see you out on the streets. And now back to the video.
You look so stylish wearing black on a day like this. It's so hot.
Thank you. Black's my color.
Exactly. It's very fashion forward.
Thank you.
What's your name? Zeb.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I wanted to introduce myself and compliment you on your look.
Thank you.
I was actually waiting for a friend back in the square. We were going to go walk around, but do you mind if I walk with you for like a block or something?
Yes, okay.
Yeah. What are you up to today?
I'm going to my friend. So, where are you from?
I'm from, originally, I'm from Hawaii, but I live in New York City now.
Okay,
Yes.
I was in New York 2 weeks ago. Yes.
And what do you think?
It was amazing. It was nice. Me and my husband
Yes.
went there, and it's absolutely amazing.
One of the best cities in the world,
Yes,
right? The
yes,
vibrancy,
best city. My favorite
people.
one.
Even better than Budapest.
Yes, of course. Budapest is like, it's good. Nightlife is good, etc., etc. But it's a small city.
Sure. Compared to New York,
Yeah, it's
many
nothing.
things are small.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Unless
and you
maybe-
are here
Yes.
for what? Like
Fun,
student
profit,
or fun?
pleasure.
Yeah, okay.
I'm traveling.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Going to a bunch of different countries in Europe,
Perfect.
but I love Budapest. I came back here after I came last year because I loved it so much.
This is my third time in Budapest. My friend living here. Yeah. And today is like a Formula One. Do you know that?
Right.
So my
Yes.
husband went there, and I'm just, like,
And you're like, no.
yeah, I'm going to my friend.
Gotcha. Gonna relax,
Yes.
do something better than sitting in the hot sun and watching race cars.
Yeah. It's like a crazy show. But we
Where are
don't
you
have
from,
it.
actually?
I'm from Turkey. Do you know that?
I do know Turkey. I would love to go.
Really?
Yes, very high on my list.
Istanbul is, of course, the best city in the Turkey. But I'm living in Izmir now, which
Yes.
is near the agency.
Yes.
So it's like a Greece. Have you ever been in Greece?
I have been to Greece.
Okay, it's similar to that. Izmir is similar to that. You will like that.
Okay. When I plan my Turkey trip, then I'll Maybe I'll take a boat. I'll start in Istanbul and
Yeah.
take a boat down to Izmir.
That would be cool. And what's your name, by the way?
Zeb.
Zeb.
Yes.
Is it something that shorten? You know, like
Just Zeb.
Zeb.
I know.
Okay.
People ask me that question a lot, but I get to tell them no. I have the cool short name. Well, maybe not cool. You can judge.
I'm going to
Yes.
a pastry to take some pastel de nata. Did you heard that?
My sister lives in Portugal, actually.
Really?
Have you been to Portugal?
No, I've never been, but I ate pastel de nata from different, like countries.
Well, you haven't really tried it until you tried it in Portugal, trust
Really,
me.
really. I hope I will go there.
Yes.
Maybe next summer.
Next summer. It's
Yeah.
not too far from Turkey, right?
It's not too far, but there are not so many flights
Yeah.
like the other countries, and it's a little bit expensive than that.
Well, good thing is Portugal is very cheap. So maybe the flight is expensive,
Yeah.
but when you are there, you'll have a great
But
time.
Portugal, and she lives in where? Like Lisbon or Porto?
She lives in Porto.
Porto.
Don't tell her. I like Lisbon better.
Yeah. Okay.
It's more vibrant. It's more city. It's Porto is like retired people sipping wine by the river,
Okay.
enjoying life. It's relaxing. Maybe you can go with your husband and do a
Yeah.
winery tour and just enjoy a voyage. But Lisbon has what Budapest or New York has. So if you like New York, you'll like
Yes.
Lisbon.
So nice to meet you then.
So nice to meet you too. And if you are looking for pastries, I recommend Freya.
Freya.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's-
I've heard that.
10-minute walk from here, best
Uh-huh.
pastries.
This way or this way?
I think it's this way.
Okay.
But look
I
it up
will
on your
check.
map because
Yeah,
I do
will
not know.
check. I will check. Thank you. Thank you for your compliment.
Yes, nice to meet you. Have a nice day.
Bye bye.
What a nice woman.
I know. And
That's
I learned
a
some
very nice
stuff.
woman, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
That guy's got a good wife. We should find nice wives.
Maybe.
All right, well, you had a good conversation. She's married. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
What you gonna do? All right.
What's your name? I'm Zeb. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Where are you going?
My boyfriend.
Ah, very nice. And you are going to try food, do something?
Yeah, we are going to the Sakura.
Okay.
I don't know.
Japanese food, I guess.
Yes.
Very nice. My favorite cuisine is Japanese food. I hope you enjoy your sushi. Have a nice day. Bye. I didn't think about that one. I just did it.
Are you secretly from Canada?
No.
Because you're just so friendly and polite at the end. Oh, it like it rolls off the tongue. Well, my favorite thing is sushi, and I hope you have good sushi too. All right, good. She's like, oh, okay. That was a rapid fire acknowledgement of my meal choice. I love it.
Hi. I was admiring the line work on your tattoo.
Thank you.
Very intricate.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Where did you get it?
It's a friend of mine. Did it. Yeah, she's called. Yep.
And was she practicing on you, or is she like
No,
professional?
no.
She's good.
She's a professional. Yep.
It shows. It looks
Yep.
nice.
Thank you.
Does it have meaning behind it, or is it just naked people
Um,
dancing?
It's Matisse painting actually. I don't know if you recognize it. It's called The Dance, and I was dancing for a really long time, so yeah. It was my favorite tattoo as a child. Tattoo as a painting, yep.
Do you have many more, or is this the
Uh,
only child
this-
tattoo? Ah,
This is the other one. This is a bonsai, my own bonsai. Yeah,
also very, very
yeah,
intricate,
same
very fine.
artist. Yep.
Looks like the similar. I also like the fine line work,
Yep.
a little shading. I think it's really cool. Are you friends from long back, or are you just?
No, not from long back, but yeah.
But you trust her enough to put ink into your body.
Yeah, I mean, I really appreciate her work, so yeah, I saw a lot of her works before, so yeah.
When I travel, I like to sometimes get tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
I need to find people like this where I can go and.
Oh, do you want me to give her Instagram?
Maybe at some point, but I was also interested in talking to you because you
Oh
look
yeah.
very elegant and sweet.
Thank you. You're really kind, but I'm actually going on a date right now. So.
But he hasn't shown up yet. I have time.
Yeah, yeah.
What kind of date? First date? Second date?
No, it's.
Seventh date?
It's yeah. We're kind of almost together. So yeah,
I see.
yeah.
Well, maybe I will take you up on the tattoo recommendations anyways.
Okay.
Maybe we can swap Instagram and.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I can find. Amazing. Yes, I'll be in Budapest maybe a few more days. Maybe she will have time. If not, next time.
Yes. She's really kind, so yeah, this is her page. Should I follow
Yeah,
it,
you can
or-
follow that.
Yeah. Okay, and do you want me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yep, that's me.
I don't think I introduced myself, by the way.
Yeah, I'm. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Having the spelling helps. I'm Zeb.
Oh, hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Have a lovely time in Budapest.
Enjoy your date.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. How do you feel if I was a complete stranger?
Ah, yes. A little bit imposed.
Right. So she's up against the wall. I feel like I'm too close to you.
Yes.
Right.
This side.
She's against something, 45s. Right. And then angle out so she's got the psychological space. Other than that, fine. Whereas everyone's got boyfriends and husbands today. All right. Let's find another one.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. You looked a little bit like a lost child, this dreamy, cute, where am I? In the middle of the square.
Nice.
I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Zeb. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Where are you from?
I'm from Hungary.
Okay, you're Hungarian.
And you?
I am originally from Hawaii, but I live in New York City now.
Oh,
Yes.
so sounds cool.
I like to think I'm cool, but other people tell me I'm mixed things. Are you living here in Budapest, or are you just visiting?
Yes, I'm living here.
Yes. And the Formula One craziness this weekend then has been tourists everywhere, I imagine.
Sorry, what?
The Formula One craziness this weekend. Have you seen lots of tourists, lots of people around?
Oh, I have a really boring weekend, so I just sit in my apartment and chill, so I can't see anything.
Sometimes boring weekends are the best ones, though, you know?
I don't like them.
Okay. I was trying to make you feel better, but I don't like them either. In New York, there's always something happening, so I'm always trying to go run off and do something. Do you want to stand in the shade just so we're not in the middle of the sun?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Sorry, my English is a little bit crappy because I don't really use them.
For a Hungarian, your English is amazing. Here, let's sit down. I've spoken to many Hungarians who are like, I don't know how to speak English. So yours is great.
Oh, thank
Yes.
you.
And in any case, I think the more important thing is feeling like you're present with a person and you have this lovely eye contact, stare. I feel connected to you.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you.
So for the rest of the weekend, more exciting or more chilling?
I don't know. I really bored, so I just go for a walk and see what happens.
And that's why you're standing in the
Yeah.
middle of the square. Very nice.
Because I'm chatting with my friends. So.
Well, now something as exciting has happened. A handsome American man has come up to you, started talking with you. I was actually waiting for a friend as well. They're probably late. I should text them in a second. But are you free maybe later today or tomorrow? I would love to take you out for coffee or something and get to know you a little bit better.
Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow? Why don't we
After work.
after work? What time do you finish work?
See, 4 or 5.
That's perfect. I'll be in Budapest a few more days, so, and I don't go to sleep at 5 o'clock at night, so that should be good. Yeah, what do you do for work?
I'm chemical engineer, and I work for mall.
I am also an engineer, but I don't work with chemicals, I work with software.
Oh,
Yes,
that's cool.
yes. But I like engineers. They have a logical but very good way of thinking about things. You seem like you have a good head on your shoulders. Like you make decisions, you're this.
Same here.
Yeah, I respect that. Oftentimes I spend time around people who are too artsy.
What?
They are artists, or they
Oh,
work
yeah,
in
okay,
non-engineering, and their
There's a
attitude.
difficult people.
Yes, they're. Sometimes they're very fun, right? They're like, let's go do this, and you say, yeah, sure, let's go. But other times they're you can't have a leash on them. They run away. You're like, where did you go? Come back, please.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
But I think it's good to have a mix of both in your life. Do you have friends who are artists or creative people?
I have a few. My best friend, she's a teacher, teaching special people. So she's a little bit crazy too. So
That's definitely
I
different.
know what you mean.
Yes. But I think, yeah, it's nice to have people like that in your life. Why don't we exchange contact before I forget?
Okay, of course.
Do you use Instagram?
Yes.
Perfect. That will be easiest. You have so many colors going on right now. You have these magenta pink nails. You have this orange bag, and then your eyes are so blue. It's like,
I like girls.
clearly. Maybe you're a colorful person then.
Maybe, I hope so.
I think so,
Oh,
based on how
my
much I know
profile,
you. I will add myself, how's
Okay,
that?
okay.
And then I will follow you back. Oops. Perfect. And this one is mine.
okay, nice.
But yeah, I will be doing like you for the rest of the day today. Once I meet my friend, I think we're just gonna get coffee and go for a walk. Maybe get some ice cream.
It's nice and chilly.
But if I'm free later, which I think I will be, I will text you.
Later, I go to the gym with my friends, so sorry.
Gotta
but
get
tomorrow-
those gains.
Yeah.
All right, I already went this morning, so I see we're on different schedules, but tomorrow I will take you up on that.
Okay.
Okay. I'll let you go back to your wondering. I'm gonna go into Starbucks and get some Wi-Fi and text my friend. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, cool, excellent, works.
Yeah.
So what were some of the good things that you did in that interaction? Starting from where she was positioned originally.
She was standing in the middle of the square, and I took into context. I was like, she looks like she's waiting or she's lost.
Yep.
So
Yes.
I based that, and then I moved her into the shade.
Right,
because
which
we're
was
sitting in the sun.
like that was the big move in that interaction, right? Yes, because you know you registered that you're both fucking hot, and the sun's in everyone's eyes, and then you took her to go and sit down, and I mean it was very obvious from outside watching, like it looked fake, like it looked like we set this up. We didn't. You sat down and both of you like matched and mirrored, opened out your body language, facing each other. She was extremely physically open. You know, both of you settled into like a relaxed rapport building like positions. So it was very clear that, you know, that move made it from like, okay, we're having a chat to now we're on a date basically. Yeah, so that was excellent. Cool, like, you know, surface level bantery stuff, but like she was vibing with you, she was contributing to, you know, she would have happily stayed longer. She was, when you, like, because you asked for the contact early, and I thought, oh, is he about to eject? And I was like, that's too early to eject.
Yep.
So you did that, but then you stayed in and continued chatting. So maybe you registered that, or?
I did. I think two things happened, and I'm not sure. I'm trying to process which happened first. I definitely was like, oh shit, this is too early. But I think I started the script, but then I was like, no, I'm just gonna establish this rapport that like I'm interested in you, I want to get to know you, because I don't plan on sitting and talking with you for half an hour. So let's just get on the same page. And then I deliberately was like, after she said whatever, I was going to continue the conversation. I was not going to eject.
Good.
So I made that decision.
Yeah, it's good. So it wasn't like sometimes I've heard you and other guys like, I'm going to snatch the number and get out.
Exactly.
Right? And for whatever reason you brought it up midway, which ended up being totally fine. And I think, you know, I'll pay that, what you said there. Yes, you got the indication she's interested, and then you just continued to have more of a conversation until you had like a better, you know, more solid, locked in rapport. And then you reiterated and made it clear that you wanted to see her again without being pushy or without, you know, dragging it out. Sweet. And her expression as she was walking away was smiling to herself that she felt good. Right, that's as I'm watching, she's like, I'm sexy, that boy likes me. Right on. Cool, follow that up, that's a real lead.
Yeah.
Good shit. Feel good?
I do feel good. I feel awesome right now, actually.
Okay. Nice. Sometimes day game can be fun, people. Sometimes it's not. And then suddenly,
Yesterday's video.
and suddenly it is because a girl likes you.
Yes.
And then you do it again and then another girl doesn't like it and then it's not fun anymore. And then it's fun again. It's the way of things. The fun, not fun cycle. All right, cool. We'll enjoy the fun bit. All right. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the residential. Well done. Very good. All right, so how's everyone, what's some feelings you have at the moment? And you maybe might want to compare them to previous feelings at the beginning of the workshop.
I'm intrigued, I think, because on the one hand, it's a lot more complicated than I think I had anticipated going in. On the other hand, it's also, it makes sense. There's things that are simple. It's just hard to do. So at the same time, I see the runway ahead of me and I feel like I have the tools now to help guiding myself to progress pretty quickly. There's still that excitement of, okay, I've got a ways to go, I've got a lot to improve on, and that's fun just looking at my growth in the past week, extrapolating that out over the next few months and years of my life. It's gonna be a good time.
Okay, awesome. And what do you mean by, I mean, I can guess, but explain a bit more. It's more complicated than you thought it was. What did you think it was going to be, and now what do you see as being more complex than you imagined?
I think when you hear the word natural, you think, oh, you just act whatever way you think you would in front of people. You jump in front of people, you say hi, you start having a conversation. It's not that hard, right? I do this every day in my work or in whatever else. But you actually put yourself out there in front of a girl, and your brain does all kinds of things. Your body does all kinds of things. Becoming aware of those things, then becoming in conscious control of those things, so that way you can communicate the messages you want to communicate. Some of them are obvious, right? Don't stand too close to somebody and make them feel uncomfortable. Don't loom above somebody. Don't jump in their face and scare them. Others are more subtle, right? Like incidental touch, the tone that you have with people, trying the things that you can do to make them feel more at ease or open them up a little bit more are often subtle social cues that you're never taught anywhere. You either learn implicitly or you do something like this.
Yes, very good. You know, good that you've highlighted and notated that. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, Jan was asking me because he saw me do a few approaches and they worked, believe it or not. You know, he's asking me like, what's going on at that level, at whatever level I'm at, compared to how the feeling of what that is, or what are some of the insights at that level. And the things that I was basically saying to him is that maybe 5 to 8 years ago, my game looked better on camera, right? Like the things that I would be doing in interactions might be more flashy or more kind of quick-witted, more strategic. And these days, like, you know, listening in on one of my interactions is not that interesting, particularly from a like what's being said position. But it's that it grows in complexity, and then at some point it becomes much, much simpler. Right? So it's like now I've pared away all the things that for me I don't feel are necessary anymore. The things that were to prove something, or to be impressive, or to be funny, or to, you know, run some mad game, doing complex stuff. And these days I'm relying so much on those sub-communications, right? On those subtleties that are happening below what is actually a very normal-ish conversation usually. Yeah, so expect that. You know, you as you said, you know, you came in with that idea of the natural, which is an understandable idea. It's just be yourself, be natural, and just, you know, be chill, be kind of a chill, fun, nice, kind of natural guy. Yes, eventually that becomes second nature to you, in the sense that it's just that you become that person, right? That person that is overall comfortable with women, and that's a big part of why I get good responses most of the time, is because I'm very comfortable with women. I'm comfortable with whatever outcome's going to happen because I've seen them all a million times before, and I am really just settling in with the person that's in front of me. Yeah, so then it doesn't need to be so complex, right? But it's a kind of an advanced simplicity that you move towards over time. But yeah, you can expect it. It's a spider web out into all these like complex things you're trying to hold it at once, until it kind of consolidates into the foundation and fundamental things we were talking about. You know, presence and intent, having those specific 5 intentions. There's not only 5, but, you know, 5 good key ones that you can navigate through, reading the girl's vibe, listening carefully, responding to what she's actually saying, sourcing logistical information, progressing it somewhere to a romantic adventure, not trying to get too tangled up in being clever or witty or trying to say the right thing or having expectations, like all that stuff, you know, starts to come out of the mist into something that's quite clean and clear.
Something I want to say, because it's a good moment to like reflect on that for you and for everybody else as well. You know, as you guys came into this with whatever expectations and experience that you had, and then you went out and you tackled the uncertainty of this reality, right? You went out into insecure moments and you had to work out who you were and what you were going to do. And as you said, you know, you might start with something like, you know, something too general or something too direct or something, you know, that's not well calibrated. And then you'd sort of learn, okay, that wasn't the right timing, or people don't probably respond to that, or if somebody did that to me in the wrong moment, I'd probably blank them as well. So you start to understand the realities of how you adjust yourself and all the rest of it. So I think first of all, recognize that you're tackling a skill set that includes, you know, the building of your identity, the stepping out into the world to get feedback, and to get strong and capable in this insecure, dynamic process of meeting people. You know? And as you guys know, as you go into the experience and you face it, then it tends to get reality checked. Some of it gets harder, some of it gets easier, depending on your perception. Usually what happens is the big scary stuff gets smaller because you realize that it's actually not as big and scary as you thought, but the little details become more important. And then you start having to kind of feel and focus on what's happening in the moment. But something that's super important is as you're dealing with the details, and of course there's always stuff to fix and there's a lot of things to deal with in your mind and in your reality. As James said too, it's also about a fundamental shift in the tone of your identity, or a fundamental shift in the tone of your being. And one cool thing, which I think is a great way to look at this, is like, as a human being, you know, you're a social mammal, and in an ideal world you would have been surrounded by love and support and be seen and be adored and be appreciated and be given opportunities to be challenged and rewarded and uplifted. But because we don't get that and we get smashed around, and sometimes we get neglected or we get ignored, or the things that we need get thrown in our face, or parts of our dreams and desires get stolen from us, and all this stuff that happens, then we end up with this kind of messy sense of self and identity and all the rest of it. And obviously as we go about trying to correct that or trying to balance ourselves in that sense of self, then we can often get very fixated and very focused on the external intricacies of details and the mentality and the cerebral nature of trying to fix everything, and it can become a big process of, in whatever way, a performance process, a success process, a fucking, you know, a see me, notice me, tell me I'm good process, the things that we do inside of ourselves to try to be good enough. But remember, because it's a big theme this week, is that you always have another fundamental, let's say, currency, or a fundamental set of things that you can tap into that's not in this world of sexual market value and being caught up in the world of contrasting yourself against others. So focus on, what do you need as a social mammal? You need to feel secure, you need to feel seen, you need to be able to express yourself with some confidence. So start to think about, what does a healthy, confident, social mammal, healthy man version of you feel like? And think about if that was your primary goal, actually, being healthy, being secure, being like a healthy adult first in connection with your higher context of being and meaning, and then relationships are part of that. Day game is part of that. Your expression is part of that. And you will hit tones and moments where you'll just be like, I know that I feel good in myself, and I know that I have skills to be able to back up those good feelings in that story of myself. It's just a matter of time, place, context, and feedback to have experience that's going to like drop you into this reality. Then you need to ask yourself, who are you then? Who are you if you're a dynamic, changing person who is able to change the way that you experience yourself because you've started to give yourself the fundamental foundations of what it is that you primarily need. And then a lot of secondary things will come into alignment. A lot of these internal expressions, nature's access to different skill sets, you know, ability to do things will sort of be more natural in that process as well. So remember that, because it's been a big theme that we've been working on this week, how to remember that you're in a transformational process and you have a lot of different currencies and techniques and focuses that also are constantly upgrading you and developing you into the guy that makes you more powerful when you stand in front of a woman, or makes you more able to deal with stress or chaos or situations that come up in your life.
Okay, so what I want to do briefly, and I want this to be very brief, is each of you are going to say one or two things that you now know you can do. Things like, and be as specific as possible, right? And then a couple of things that you know you need to work on, also as specific as possible, right? So not talking about vague, I need to improve myself as a man, yeah, Okay, yes. What exactly?
So a lot of what I wanted to say, what I've walked away from, has already been said. The fact that, oh, I can approach people now, and oh, this works. People will actually engage in conversation with you, give you their number, go on dates with you. That's pretty cool. But I think underlying that,
And they have sex with you sometimes, right?
sometimes.
Do you want to mention the fact you had sex in the workshop? Shall we? Okay.
Sometimes it works.
Hang on. So what you're trying to say is you had sex?
Yes, I did.
Okay, interesting. I didn't get that bit. And how many people did you have sex with, for example?
2.
2. That's more than I have had sex with in the last 4 days. Good.
Yes.
Right. So just to be clear, you had sex with 2 people.
With 2 people,
Right.
correct.
You got that?
This is going live. Yes.
And they were both women?
Yes, both
Both of
women.
them were women?
And I didn't pay either of
You
them.
didn't pay anybody?
No.
Hang on a minute. So how did... Oh, okay. I'll talk about this later. All right, carry on.
But I think the underlying thing here, the thing that I'm walking away with, is that people are people. They're going places. They're in the park with their grandma. They're going to a funeral. They're going shopping. They're lost in the middle of the square because they're bored. They're in a rush to the airport. They're headed home from a long day of work. And like, you're going to connect with some people. You go to a bar, you go to the hostel, you go to a class at university, and you talk with some people, and you're like, oh, there's a vibe here. And there's some people where it's like, so, you like basketball? Yeah. Cool. Who's your favorite player? LeBron James. Cool. Like, you're going to have interactions like that. And those come across during the daytime as people not giving you anything. And that will happen. And that's okay. And I don't remember them, like someone else. I think Monster, you were saying. You go on with your day. Eventually, you forget that those things even happened. So walking away with the realization that people are people, that you're going to have interactions, some are going to go well, and the ones that go well are the ones that matter, I think is huge for me. Things that I want to practice, there's things in the short term, slowing down, trying to be more present, trying to be more curious about people instead of wanting to present more of myself, which I think is my natural behavior, and seeking less to impress other people so much as to be impressed by them, giving myself a chance to experience their humanity and their nuance and their interesting facets, and trying to explore that, sharing myself along the way, but not being too focused on trying to sell myself because I don't think I'm enough or worthy or interesting enough to talk to. On a deeper level, I think that comes across as me trying not to be so interesting. I pride myself a lot of the time on being clever, smart, intelligent, witty, and I don't need to try so hard. Girls generally either like you or they don't, and if I'm maybe especially clever and witty, maybe some will like me a little bit more, but it's not going to change the mind of some random stranger that I met in the street and makes my behavior come across as erratic, or my words come off as verbose if I'm using 2 big words, as I just have been. So yeah, trying to be less performative and more present and more receptive to other people, to be a better listener, and to try to meet them where their energy is at, I think is huge for me. And then some of the stuff we worked on today, projecting my own masculinity, my own intent, something beyond, oh, you're an interesting person, let me learn more about you, this high energy curiosity, which is very friendly and has gotten me far in life, or I wouldn't still have that behavior. Taking some of that, maybe some of the playful, friendly elements, but also adapting it into a way that's more seductive and more conducive to the kinds of relationships that I'd want to have with pretty women I meet on the street, as opposed to random friends I might meet in a bar or at a class. So yeah, I think working on my awareness, my intent are kind of where I'm at right now, and in the longer term, less on impressing people and more on just feeling them and matching them. And then, yeah, I think that's what I want to say.
Cool. Nice. Good stuff. And yeah, just be aware of the idea of having more awareness doesn't mean more seriousness or more intensity, right? That can totally be playful and loose. Like loose is the word that I would like you to bounce around in your mind for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. To get less formal, to be able to be a bit cooler and chiller in your interactions, in your choice of words. And that's a type of awareness, right? That's awareness of the fluffy, simple, shit-talking, chit-chat vibe that two strangers, that's good to have when strangers first meet. Right? Whereas, and this is common for a lot of guys, that they want to go intense, right? Because they think that equates to connection. It does sometimes, depending on the situation, but often it doesn't. It can have the total opposite effect if I'm trying to get too personal or too serious, or be really present with somebody. I mean, I've met lots of guys who do lots of personal development, and they'll stare you into your eyes and hold your hands and emphatically ask questions about, yes. And I'm like, stop trying to be so present. That's right. Yeah, don't be so present. Just chill out and be a bit looser. Yeah, that's a different type of awareness. Right? Like it's a bubbly, fun, in-flow awareness.
Yeah.
All right, this has been The Natural Lifestyles. Thank you very much. Yeah. Shay Matthews, Alex Leon, that guy Liam over there. James Marshall. Woo, whoop, 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 woo. All right. Thank you very much. And round of applause for you guys. Well done. Thank you very much for your attention. That was fun for me personally. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Haven't taught a big group in a while. You guys were rad and funny and fun and real and present with us and asked lots of questions. It was good. I enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Was this what I expected to be? Yes and no. Like the answer to almost every question in the history of the human race, or every binary question rather. Yes, in the sense that we did the things that I expected we would do. We went up to people and we said weird things and made them feel uncomfortable for as long as we possibly could, until we realized it wasn't that big a deal. We went up to girls and we introduced ourselves and we talked about random shit and we asked them out and we tried to get their number. We did a few drills involving physicality and stopping and role-playing and figuring things out. All of that was as expected. The actual experience of it was much different, I think. For me, I mentioned this last night, but it was a lot more nuanced and a lot trickier than it seems in your head. You see this thing happen in real time by people who have been doing it for years and years, and you're like, oh, okay, I can learn this. It's pretty easy. There's not too much to it. But I think there's both less to it than you imagine, in the sense that, yeah, it really is as simple as being a normal human and having a good conversation and then adding a few extra things on top of that. But also there's a lot of nuance, especially when it comes to things like positioning, stopping people, and then small conversational nuances of the word choice that you use and the way you make them feel not intimidated because you say, oh, I'll walk with you for 1 block or something like that. A lot of these little things that you can forget to do or not notice that you're not doing makes a huge difference. And so learning and seeing that in real time, I think, was quite shocking to me. To be like, oh, there's actually little micro things that I can adjust and it drastically changes what happens. So the actual practice of it being more nuanced and interesting than I expected was a surprise to me, and that was not what I thought would happen. But overall, the general mechanics, the general vibe of what we were doing was what I wanted it to be, I think. I think still I feel, what's the right word for this? Like almost deferent to James, as if there's a sense of expectation and I want to make him proud and I want to impress him. He's a very authoritative figure, and he gives the sense that he is in control and he knows what he's doing. Spending more time around him, I was actually really pleased to see his humanity, like his joking side, his non-seriousness. And then the way he talks about things, a lot of it is just, you can tell it's genuine. He doesn't always speak with the most emotion. He doesn't always put the most emphasis behind things that aren't like, do this, very instructive and very commanding. But there's the little moments where you can tell he feels it. I think at the end of one session, it was a rough one. I think it was the third day in the morning or the second day in the afternoon, and I was very frazzled. And we had a lot of feedback, a lot of constructive feedback, and a lot of repeated feedback. Stuff that I kept doing over and over again in interactions that James wanted me to change. And he's very surgical and very precise about, don't do this, change this is not working. And that can come across as harsh. But James recognizes that, and at the end, he was just like, come here, you're doing great. And he gave me a hug, and all of that kind of melted away. And I think that's the experience that just exemplifies working with James. You come, you get what you expect. He is no nonsense. He's very precise. He's very, he knows things. And he's not afraid to find the smallest details and grill you on them. But he also knows your limits. He's able to step around your emotional space, see how you're feeling, see how you're doing, and moderate to that. I would equate it to like a really good sports coach that I've had in the past, where they really know how to push you and make you think, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, and then they keep making you try and go, even when you fail repeatedly in front of them. And the more you do that, the more you're like, no, I want to succeed, I want to impress you. But then at the end, they respect you for having tried, they respect you for listening to them, and they try to take to heart where you're at and meet you there at the end of the day. So yeah, it's kind of like a stern lovingness, which I appreciated. I think that's the best way to grow. How does working with James contrast to working with Shay? They're kind of opposites in some sense, that James is like the stern, authoritative father figure, and Shay is more like the warm, accommodating, almost like psychotherapist who will just sit, listen to your problems, and help you work through wherever you're at. I told Shay that he's a very comforting presence, and I think that's the best word that I have for him. It's the way he speaks, the things he speaks about, his ability to transition very seamlessly between deep, emotional, or like spiritual or whatever kind of conversation into just jokes and funny accents and saying things in weird ways. It's quite endearing. And even from the first 30 seconds of meeting Shay, I'd felt like he was already a mentor figure in my life, having watched me for 10 years and knew my behaviors, my mannerisms, and was just very at ease with that. And I suppose in a way, all of the coaches have seen people like me before, and they'll see people like me afterwards. So that probably helps them to do that. But I felt very at ease with Shay, whereas with James, I felt a little bit more like I wanted to be on my A game and I was trying to focus on individual things. With Shay, I think I was focusing more on how I was feeling as opposed to some of the things that I was doing. There was a little bit of both in both coaches, but I think that's the best way I can summarize it. Alex, for me, was a little bit more akin to Shay, but also with that sense of, okay, if James is like the stern father figure and Shay is like the warm therapist or college counselor or whatever, Alex is like your cool older brother or cousin. He's also very relaxed, very, doesn't have the same harshness, say, that someone like James has. But he also picks apart specific things. Don't do that, do this instead. And he's not afraid to give raw, honest feedback, not sugarcoat it, and not necessarily check in where you're at with feedback. Not that, oh, harsh feedback, but in the sense that like, how are you feeling? How did you feel about that one? Okay, he'll take into account what you said, and then he'll say, okay, I agree with this, I agree, I don't agree, you can do this better. I also liked Alex because when I was working with him, I felt at times like a boss, especially when being filmed. I think there was one interaction where we were being filmed and Alex was like, oh, she saw us filming, but like, go over there and tell her you're a part of a documentary. And I walked away from that feeling great, and he was like, that helped you. And I think that's very much his style, his lifestyle. He's like, I'm the cool guy, I've got great fashion, I've got fancy things in my life. I'm not afraid that other people can see who I am and what I do. And that kind of relaxed comfort and coolness, I think I related to, because in ways I relate a lot to Alex, both in terms of like background and coming into this. So seeing him there, I was like, that's kind of the path that I could tread. That's the way that I could go. Maybe I don't go all the way to his lifestyle and the things that he's doing, but similar steps. And I felt like I could relate to him really well. And so I kind of channeled some of his energy in my interactions, and that made me feel better about them. So the question is, what did I get out of this, like tangibly? I think there are some more intangible things that certainly happened mentally and will continue to develop. Externally, I found that, yeah, I could get people to give me numbers or to give me contact information. Some people were enthusiastic to meet up or enthusiastic to give contact details, and then they don't text you back. Or I heard back this morning from one girl, we had maybe a 5-minute conversation. I asked her out, she said yes, we continued talking, we exchanged contact, and this morning she's like, I didn't know how to say this, but actually I have a boyfriend and I felt really awkward telling you because I thought you were really charming. And I was like, that's fucking great. That hopefully it was a very good experience for her, and that sense of being charmed or swept away were good emotions. Judging from her reaction, I think that was the case. And so that feels good, regardless of what happened. I also had some interactions with one married woman who was from Turkey, and just loved to talk about, her husband was at Formula One, so she needed someone to talk to about her day and Budapest and what she was doing, and that was nice. I had one girl with a boyfriend who I approached and was just really friendly and was like, thank you for doing this. I'm really flattered. Let me know if you need anything in Budapest. Offering recommendations, if I need to get anything, if I need somewhere to put my stuff, just very, very open and friendly. And then in terms of actual dating results, I had one date from somebody that I met in the street, and it went really well. I think from the moment that I said hi to her, I knew that things were going to be good because I could feel a connection. We adventured around the city, and we spent 4 or 5 hours together, and it's something that I'll walk away from as that was my time in Budapest. I remember this night, I remember this girl, and if I'm back in Budapest or somewhere nearby, I'm going to try to see her again. She actually has tonsillitis right now, so hopefully I stay healthy. So alas, no more on this trip, but maybe if I come back through Bratislava or Vienna or something, she'll be able to make it over for a day trip. And I think it's those kinds of connections that make your life more memorable. I'm on an extended period of travel right now, and yes, do I remember the museums? Yes, do I remember the big churches and the fancy places that I go to? Yes, sometimes I remember the food, but when I look back on all my travels, my best memories are the people I've met along the way, whether they've been romantic connections, family, friends that I've met on a night out. That's what really, for me, makes or breaks a trip. And then also getting to practice some of the skills that I've learned with girls I've met from online dating while I've been here in the city has been good for me too, and has made my trip memorable. Looking back on it, it does feel surreal that I was able to just walk up to her in the middle of the street and set that up. That's the amazing part for me, and will continue to be fun and crazy as I go through these experiences and I meet different kinds of women through this. I think a lot of the things that I expected from this workshop, I knew were possible. I'd seen happen in videos, I'd heard people talk about, and I was like, yeah, that definitely happens, but you don't have the emotional lived experience of having gone through that. And now having gone through that myself, we were asked to actually list out 3 things that we'd like to accomplish by the end of the workshop. And I wrote this down as a goal, meet a girl, ask her out, go on a date with her, and have an adventure together that evening or the next evening or something. It was a little bit vague, I didn't know where things would lead, and I thought it was also a stretch. I'm a beginner at this, it's probably not gonna work, it's probably gonna take, I don't know, a few weeks, a few hundred girls for this to happen. But the fact that it was maybe the 10th or 20th girl that I had ever talked to, just randomly in the street, it's kind of funny to me. It's the first time that had happened for me, that I had met a girl in the day, expressed my intention clearly. I think a lot of my interactions with women in the past have been through friend groups or social circle, and I've found it very difficult to express my attraction or my sexuality in those scenarios because I don't want to make it awkward. I don't know how. I can't quite read what she's feeling, and so I feel nervous, and then she feels nervous, and we mirror each other's energy. And so a lot of the time in social circles, it'll just end up I'm with a group of people, and maybe I like one girl, but quickly we're just talking and we're in a big group, and then we're friends, and things end there. I've had a few times where somehow, some way, we've been put in proximity and some message has been communicated between us. I think now that I've gone through the workshop, I understand a little bit more behind what I would need to do to make that happen. But I've never done it explicitly or clearly, especially in a friend circle. So doing that, being I'm putting myself out there, I like you, let's go on a date. Yeah, it's completely different. Because you can do it online. You can send a message to somebody and say, hey, I'd like to take you out. And then whatever, they ghost you, they don't reply. Maybe that's scary the first 3 times you do it, And then once you have like 20, 30 matches, somebody doesn't reply, you're like, oh, well, she was nice, but so much. It's much more still for me on the line, but it makes it so much more rewarding. So how do I feel a workshop has accelerated or changed my growth versus having learned it on my own, if I were to learn it on my own? So if I'm imagining an alternate reality where some way, somehow, I mustered up the courage to do this every day, to not get demotivated, to continue to go out and actually make the progress that I've made in the past few days over the course of, I don't know, say a few months or a few years, no, I don't think I would have made the progress I've made. And I think too, had I had that motivation, at some point, when things just got tricky or difficult, I would have resorted to coaching anyways, because I would have been like, I don't know what I'm stuck on, and I can't figure this out. And if I hadn't given up, then your only other option is to find somebody who can help you out with these things. Obviously, there's a way to do this naturally. If you really are thinking about, okay, what are the things that I need to do and change, you try to really empathize with the people you've interacted with and really analyze your interactions from that frame. You speak with other women in your life and you see what they think and what their thought processes are. Yeah, I could have discovered some of these things through like informal coaching, basically by talking with people in my life. But I think there's an insane value in actually asking somebody who knows what they're doing about this, because they will give you honest feedback in a way that is specific to you, but is also completely absent of any, oh, well, no, that's fine, this is good. And they've also seen it thousands and thousands and thousands of times before. So they have the data bank of experiences. Whereas if I were to do this on my own and say, ask a female friend, oh, I tried this and she didn't like XYZ. Well, the feedback that I'm gonna get is gonna be specific to this very one girl who's maybe dated, what, like 10 guys in her life seriously, maybe a lot more, even if she's dated 50 or 100 guys. Like, she is a very particular kind of person and she's gonna react in a certain way to people. So it's night and day being able to talk with somebody who sees the pattern from the bird's eye level as opposed to seeing the day-to-day reality. And that's the difference between having a coach and having somebody who's maybe has an empathetic or emotional lived experience. And so in that sense, having a coach is like that global average. It's gonna more consistently move you towards where you want to go, as opposed to trying to do this on your own. You're gonna get lost and you're gonna go on turns and you're gonna be like, what am I doing wrong? There's two things. One is, yes, you're going in the right direction with a coach, that's great. The other is having the confidence that you know you're going in the right direction. Because that's the other thing, is you, in a mathematical optimization problem, you know you're optimizing towards the minimum or the maximum or whatever. In real life, you're like, well, am I getting better? Am I improving? Is this the thing that I need to be doing? And so having somebody to reassure you and say, yes, this is good. Yes, you need to fix this. No, you don't need to fix this. Yeah, that's worth years of experience, I think. I highly recommend you do this if you want to make this a priority in your life and learn how to do something that will last you forever. I think it's been worth every penny, and my life will change after this.
And there you have it, the conclusion to our in-depth 8-part series about what goes on behind the scenes in a natural lifestyles workshop. Hope you enjoyed watching the transformation of our brave student Zeb, as he went from a guy who'd never approached a woman cold before to a guy that was consistently getting dates with extremely beautiful women, feeling very confident about himself and his new skills. So, if you too would like to go on this journey, you can come and join me for my next upcoming in-field workshop in Budapest, Hungary from the 27th till the 30th of April. There is literally only one spot left to join myself, Shane Matthews and Alex Leon as we go and smash the streets of Budapest, learning how to approach, improve conversation, touch, intent, lifestyle design, fashion, inner game, and so much more. This is the world's most comprehensive live workshop for men who want to improve their skills with the ladies. So just click the link below, get on a free call where you can have a coaching session with Alex, talk about your current issues, create a roadmap for success, and if you are the right fit, possibly join us on the adventure of a lifetime. And this is James Marshall signing out. See you next one. Peace.